There's just so much I want to share with you. I want to share with all of you. The redistribution of my thoughts and feelings.
Pew! Pew, pew, pew! Airsoft!
Здравия желания, YouTube land товарищи. They call me Mr.Spank. Why? You'll have to tune in for other stuff later to find out. But this is my introduction. This is a passion project because I've been into the airsoft hobby since May 2007. So as of this year, it's already June 2020, over 13 years of being involved in this hobby, this all-encompassing, this all take over your life hobby. And we've been quarantined, so it's really been mostly up here and on the internet, and need to get it out to like-minded people who will stumble across this on the internet as well. And after 13 years of being involved in this hobby, traveling around the country, mostly in the Northeast, collecting so many things, meeting so many different kinds of people, I have so much to share. Stories about adventures, stories about scenarios that did happen, scenarios that should have happened, my involvement in creating events, participating in events, running events. There's just so much I'd love to share with people who are actually interested, as opposed to, a girlfriend that will just, oh, that's nice, oh, that's interesting. You know what I mean. So, I'm starting this channel, and it's actually going to have two sections to it because during this quarantine, I did end up getting back into a previous all-encompassing hobby that just sucks up so much mental and financial energy. And that's going to be the other half. That's going to be my Magic the Gathering channel. But this is dedicated to my 13 plus years of experience in airsoft and how I want to share about my previous experiences, my ideas, and what's going to be happening as soon as we're allowed to go back out there and do our events. And I can't wait to get back out there and participate in the events and share these experiences. So how did I even get into this hobby? Okay. Breakups. So I was with a girl 6 years. We're gonna get married. Turns out we're not. So I'm in search of new friends. I got all this money I had saved up to spend on an engagement ring. So I got all this free time. So I spend that leftover money and all that free time to pursue something that will make me new friends. And I sure succeeded in that. And have an interest in playing soldier. Well, hello. I grew up with one of the first cartoons that I liked after coming to America, and some of my first American toys, G.I. Joe. That's how I got into playing Army. And then later on I find out there in the G.I. Joe world is the October Guard, the Warsaw Pact equivalent of this super special forces like G.I. Joe was. And they weren't the bad guys. They were just adversaries in the comic book. That was cool. Once I started wanting to get into this action play soldier stuff, I wanted to use an AK to connect back to my roots, because my family immigrated in '89 from the Soviet Union, and they came here, as my mom reminded me many times, was so that me and my brother would grow up here where we weren't forced to participate in the army. We wouldn't have to be soldiers. So, oh, my mother was so irritated when I started to play soldier and end up collecting Soviet soldier stuff. Oh, she really thinks it's about her. It's about me. I wanted to connect to what I would have experienced had I continued to have grown up in that part of the world, and I would have had to have done my 2-year service. I grew up in America. I didn't have to, but it's always been in the back of my mind what it would have been like, which was the real driving force for me attending East Wind, the legendary series of events called East Wind, and I was lucky enough to go 4 times. More on that later. I'm gonna have a whole series dedicated to East Wind. East Wind sets the bar. Anyway, I'm all over the place. I love G.I. Joe. G.I. Joe is like the foundation of how I got into the hobby, hence the t-shirt for the introduction video. Hasbro, send me money. Maybe. G.I. Joe. October Guard. Hasbro. Funny enough, Hasbro also owns Wizards of the Coast that does the magic thing. Like I said, the other part of the channel is going to be about that. Hasbro, send me money. Send me stuff, Hasbro. I will wear your t-shirts or whatever. Anyway, started out 13 years ago, all on the forums. Started out first at the military photos forums, and they have a fantastic section for Russian Army, Soviet Army pictures, fantastic like source of photo references for almost everything. That led me to Red Alliance, which really focused in on the whole Russian and Soviet thing. And then the local groups, we had one for Lower Hudson Valley for New York Airsoft, we had a New Jersey forum, we had one for the greater area of the Northeast, NEASG, Northeast Airsoft Group, which I think still exists and functions. And it was all on the forums. It seems all so old and outdated, but now we're actually using Discord. It is called Discord. Discord reminds me of the forums, except you can post pictures directly, and there's a little more immediacy. Is that the right word? Stuff's much more quicker. You know when someone's responding to your post, and you can go directly there. It's like the next level of forums, and who knew forums were going to be back in any form. I'm glad they are. So I want to let you know, my videos are different. I think any play videos, you're not going to be seeing me running around and just a bunch of bouncing camera stuff. I don't think you're going to see that. My play style is generally sneaky peeky stuff, avoiding contacts when possible. The camera doesn't really capture that well. I mean, you're just gonna be looking at leaves because the camera doesn't see as far as the human eye through the leaves and the people beyond that. There's gonna be no sniper cam footage. I don't play sniper. I play rifleman, I play machine gunner. Once upon a time I used to play grenadier. I don't even like having a camera set up that disrupts the whole impression, and most of the stuff I do is Cold War related. So unless I manage to hide the camera somewhere as part of the kit, or I'm doing some sort of fantasy science fiction thing, so generally I don't even have in-game footage. It's going to be mostly reflecting on my 13 plus years of Airsoft experience, showing you my impression kits and getting ready for events and then after the events. If it's a more contemporary thing or I manage to hide my camera somehow in the kit, then you'll have some game footage. I'd love to show you the impressions I have that I do from late World War II Soviet to 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, all Soviet Russian stuff, up through the like 2010 essentially, 2008, 2010. I have impressions for all that. And also People's Army of Vietnam. I'm heavily involved in Namsoft, and you'll probably see a lot of media regarding that, getting ready for that. AARs, lots of reflecting on important things that the hobby has done for me. It has done a lot for me, a lot. I'm not big on CQB. Sometimes I get desperate and I will hit a field like Strike Force Sports. If that's your thing, good for you. You're free to enjoy all the different things that the world has to offer. All the things. But even I can get desperate when there's downtime between fun events, and I will hit some CQB or one of these like Sunday pickup games, which is just skirmishing. I call it just skirmishing, just getting out there and slinging BBs. But predominantly, I participate in weekend-long events with a heavy milsim aspect to it, and that's gonna be generally what I end up focusing on. Well, YouTube land tavarische. I do believe I've been rambling, and hopefully most of it gets edited down to something short enough that I haven't lost you guys. Subscribe, do the thing with the things and the bells and the whistles and the clicking and the blah, 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 or not. I'm doing this to share. Hopefully this finds its audience. I don't like pandering. I don't like asking you to thing with the things. But hey, we see each other out there, or out there in the real world. Let's stay in touch here in YouTube land. So I'm gonna try to publish stuff. I don't know what I'm really doing. I'm just getting the hang of editing. I don't know when I'm gonna have time to edit and post stuff. Haven't figured any of that out. I do have so much to share, and hopefully I share it in time. See you out there, YouTube land. Professional.